I was down at the Yacht. It was great to see some. Yeah, it was. I was a little surprised by that. The NBA was back just for tonight, however, and now the league that features the world's best basketball moves on to more glamorous outposts like Sacramento and Milwaukee. Not a bad crowd at the Yacht, about 7,600 to see Detroit in the Nets. Jersey featuring Derek Coleman and Kenny Anderson teaming up, working well together on that play, and Coleman finishes. Derek Coleman had 14 points for Chuck Daly's team. For the Pistons, Isaiah Thomas left to carry the load these days. Buries that jumper. Isaiah had 15 points for Detroit. First preseason game for both teams. They've only been in camp for about a week, but Kenny Anderson looked ready to play. Finished with 10 points tonight for New Jersey. Now look at this play. Isaiah feeds David Wood, and Wood led all scorers with 18 points. The Pistons come out on top tonight, 101-95. Wood with 18. Coleman led New Jersey with 14 points at the Yacht. This is how desperate.
A little later, Joe Dumars, known for his long jumper, just about a three-pointer, not quite, as he hit the long bomb. Isaiah here brings it up again. Nice backdoor pass to David Woods. Woods would lead all scorers with 18, and the Pistons go on to knock off New Jersey tonight, 101-95 down at the Yacht. Because of the World Series, the Thursday night NFL.
Former Buffalo Braves. Yeah, we're in Buffalo. Ramil Robinson one-on-one and in. Nets at the half, up by 5. Then D.C. gets it back from Kenny Anderson. Coleman at 14. Don Chaney said, can we get a guy like that? Yeah, he got one. Isaiah Thomas from the top of the key. The familiar nothing but net. He had 15. Chuck Daly said, hey, Isaiah coming down again. David Wood. Touch of the bucket. Isaiah's going to find you. Wood had 18. Pistons win it by 6. Isaiah added 15. Lambeer had 13 boards. Shinch is 17. Sean Elliott in his debut, 4 points.
Strange memory. The Nets are coming off a strong season, but were then numbed by the death of Drazen Petrovic. The Pistons missed the playoffs last season for the first time in 10 years. Detroit's made some significant changes, most notably saying bye to Dennis Rodman, who went to San Antonio in a trade for Sean Elliott. The Pistons also released Mark Aguirre and looked for new blood in the backcourt, drafting guards Lindsey Hunter and Allen Houston, both of whom are still unsigned and both of whom, of course, weren't in Buffalo tonight when Derek Coleman says, hey, I could be point guard, brings it up the floor. Deals to Chris Morris, just like old times. Chuck Daly says, boy, I'm glad I'm coaching the Nets, I think. Sean Elliott, the new Piston, on Morris. Well, Morris hits the turnaround J on Elliott. Isaiah Thomas then shakes and bakes and sticks one for 2. And then Ramil Robinson, watch him roll off a pick top of the key. They stay with him here. He'll stop. And Pistons go on to win it. David Wood scored 18, including 10 in the fourth quarter for Detroit as they pull it out. And
had its very own pro team. They were called the Buffalo Braves. They left town back in the 1970s, but their memory is still fresh on the minds of loyal fans who want them back.
Buffalo is a basketball town, and I think that we need to have a franchise here of our own. And it's a shame that we don't have another team here.
It was a great time to come up and see a basketball game and get a good seat.
Do you miss them?
I sure do. I wish Buffalo was getting a team instead of Toronto.
But tonight, fans will have to settle for a date once a year. And they came, armed with loud voices and ways to get a bird's-eye view of center court. Then there's all of the paparazzi that comes with pro sports. Michael Jordan might not be here this year, but the fans are still taking the chance to take some pictures.
And Bill Lambeer.
It is a night that forges new memories and brings back some of the old ones. The night pro basketball comes back to Buffalo.
By the way, Detroit won that game tonight, 101-95. John Murphy will have highlights for us coming up on Eyewitness Sports.